Okay, we're going to attempt to demo how to take the impression. You are always going to start, have all your setup ready to go. We're going to start with the lower, the mandibular tray, okay? Reason being, you always want to start with the lower is because it's the easier one to do in the sense that if you start with the upper, this has a tendency to drain back and touch the gag reflexes, so it's always easier to start with the easier one, okay? Always make sure to measure your tray to make sure it fits the patient first. Always wet it. Check to see if it fits. Check to see that the patient doesn't have tori, because if they do, you want to be extra careful. You may have to adjust the tray. You may have to add wax along the rim of the tray, which is called beading, okay? Always, again, you're going to fluff it, okay? Remember, Alginate is an irreversible hydrocolloid, okay? It's an impression material, and we'll talk about this more in class, but it is an extraction from seaweed and kelp. It's a marine growth found primarily off the coast of Japan, and dissolves in water to form a viscous solid. Added to this potassium alginate is the calcium sulfite, which chemical reactions then forms the gel, okay? You use alginate when you need less accuracy because, of course, it's not going to be as detailed as it would be if you were using the final impression material, okay? So I have my water, my water veil. I put it down on the table because I want to remember about that meniscus. So I want to make sure. Of course, I am going to use 3 just so I can do the tongue. The book does say to, just decide depending on the person. The water is going to cool. I come down to eye level to make sure about the meniscus. Okay, that slope, okay. I pour my water into one of the bowls, okay. My tray ready, I've already measured it, I've wet it, okay. My water off to the side, I've already fluffed my alginate. I open it away, okay. I've already sprayed my silicone on my typodont, and what did we say this one's going to be? This one has 60 seconds working time. It's going to be creamy. Once I scoop it out like this, I want to make sure to tap it on the inside because I want to make sure that I get a complete dose. Remember to immediately close your alginate because this will stain your clothes. It falls, it goes everywhere, okay? Off to the side. You'll see in an office, a lot of people will do this differently, but the book tells us to go water to powder. Yes, it says to go powder to water, okay? Lots of times in an office, you'll see them go water to powder. Everyone has a different way of doing it, but we're gonna do it the way it says, and it's powder to water. And you got to move fast because you have 60 seconds. You start off slow, coming in slow, bringing it in so that you gather all your material first, because if you start off fast, then it's going to go everywhere. So you start off slow till you get it all together, okay? Once you get it all together, okay, and then you can start speeding up, and you can see it's kind of clumpy. What you don't want clump. You want smooth, creamy mix, okay? And I'll do it like this so that you can see how I'm mixing. I don't know if you can see, but I'll come a little closer. I don't know if that will help or not. But you should have a cool bowl. There you go. And you want cream. You want creamy. Okay, once you get it to that state, then you can load your tray. The book will tell you different ways to load it. I usually go from the inside, load, and this is a little runny, so we'll live with it. But okay, once you have it, you take it to your typodont, you place it gently, use both fingers, press down. What you want to get is a peripheral roll, which is right around there. The excess that you have, you're going to scoop it up right away, and you're going to use it for the tongue. Okay, and you may see it dripping down a little bit, but peripheral roll is really important. It's all around there, and then you stay with your typodont, your patient. You stay there. Okay, and of course, with a real patient, you wouldn't need to make a tongue space because they have the tongue, but you do want to get the vestibule. Okay, so you would stay there, and then this takes what, a minute and whatever it was to harden. You keep some on your finger so you can test it. Okay, to see. Of course, it's going to set a lot faster in the mouth because of the heat versus what's in the bowl. See if I can find where my set time is. So this takes 2 minutes and 30 seconds to harden. And as you can see, it's starting to come down, but you can see how it's slowly kind of falling because it's starting to set. Okay? Test it on your finger. And the cold weather, and it is cold in this room today, so it will slow it down a bit. Normally the mix shouldn't be this runny, but it is. So I may have been off on my powder a little bit, or I may have been maybe a hair over with the water. Okay, it's now starting to gel. Okay. Normally with a patient, you would stay with them, okay? But since I'm with a typodont and I'm doing this for a demo, in order to do the other demo, what I'm going to do is I'm going to utilize my time, and I'm going to go ahead and clean this while that is setting. What you don't want to do is just stand there and play with this the whole time going, oh, this is so much fun, because what you're doing is you're moving it, and then that will cause bubbles. Okay, you use paper towel. In the trash, none of this goes thrown in or down the sink, okay? Nothing should be thrown down the sink. Okay. And then I'll rinse those out after. Okay, I come back, I check to see, and then what you want to do is you'll pop it, you'll break the seal because you want a good suction, so sometimes it'll feel like it won't come out, but one quick snap and out, and then there's your impression. Okay, and then you would use your lab knife to trim the excess that you don't need. Okay, then you would rinse it, disinfect it, wrap it in a wet paper towel, maybe put it in a bag with a name, if you had to do another one, okay?